just before that was the Love Festival. Oh my gosh, they show so much love. So I think we should probably put love in each name of every event, even if they don't put it in there. So like the Swanee Asian Love Festival, because they, maybe they'll give so much money. But when I tell you, people kept giving us checks. They were signing up like members, um, and you know, embracing diversity. Embracing diversity. That's very important. To make, to even help out their own communities and to see what we can do with their own communities. And asking what can they do for our communities. I was like, wow, this is lovely. So definitely, yeah, you guys need to sign up. So we have another festival coming up, Juneteenth. Juneteenth. Um, so Juneteenth is on, what date is that? The 21st?
The 19th, which is.
No. Our festival.
It's on the 21st,
No,
Saturday.
don't do me like that now. Don't do me like that. I am a Morehouse man. I'm gonna listen now. I know when Juneteenth is. I said, when is it Juneteenth?
Which
festival?
Morehouse is that?
Don't do. Don't. I said festival.
In your mind.
You guys are just so far back there. You guys are just so far back that you didn't hear me. And I have no microphone. I have no microphone today.
Which Morehouse did you attend?
When is the festival?
June 21st.
June 21st. Thank you. June 21st. Okay. See, I said that right. I got that right. June 21st. Okay. So June 21st, we are gonna need some a bunch of volunteers. We also have vending space available. So for all you vendors, all you people who are running for office, I'm looking at a few people in the room right now. Please make sure that you inquire about vending spaces. It goes to, the cost of offsetting the cost of putting together this festival, and it just, if anything is left, then it goes to Princess. She's such a princess. We okay?
Amber.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Uh-oh. Hey, listen, true story. Okay, I'm gonna take a pause while y'all turning off your phones, right? Or rather, quieting your Amber Alerts, because we're just going to keep. So, true story. At one of my anniversary years, for graduating Morehouse, Obama spoke. President Obama spoke. And I kid you not, everybody's phones went off like that once he got on stage. And when I tell you it was a very scary moment, until you looked at your phone and it was just a thunderstorm warning. But I don't know why everybody's phones is, but everybody, I mean, including, you should have saw Secret Service, just running to make sure he was okay. Oh, wow, okay. See, now, this is how it should have happened. Mine also happened, and took all my notes off the screen. Okay, now I hit it back. But y'all didn't hear mine. I don't know why y'all didn't turn off your phones. But anyway, okay, so now moving along, right? Moving along. So I will be sending out, and the secretary, I think will be emailing out to the members, right? For signing up?
Yeah.
For Juneteenth.
Yes.
Okay, how many vending spots do we have remaining?
I have no idea, but we still need more, so ain't no limitation. Go ahead and sign up.
Okay. No limits on how many vendors we, okay. Hey, listen, even if we have to take up parking spaces, right? I love it, okay. And that's the last event of June. That's the last event of June that we have, as of now, because at any given moment, we can have, an event, and I need y'all to please volunteer. All my volunteers in the house. I'm the only one that. Shantae, throw your hand up, Shantae. Thank you, Shantae. If I can't, and, oh,
The rest of the meeting.
oh, yeah, that's right. We got
That's
that
right.
meeting. Anyway, so, also, we talked about places of worship. So if you guys have any places of worship, no matter what type of places, well, I guess it kind of matters, but not really. It doesn't really matter. Because if it's helping people, that's amazing. That's always amazing. So please let us know. Let us know. Membership chair at WinnettNAACP.org. Please send an email, and we'll get back to you, or I'll get back to you and let you know when it's confirmed. We will set up a membership table at your places of worship. So awesome. And I have someone back here who's supposed to be letting me know that today. Also, for the raffle drawings, that's supposed to be concluding at the end of this month. We have decided to extend it. We want to give more people a chance, and guess when we will be announcing the winner. So I advise that, especially if you have signed up for a life membership, then you make sure you get your ticket for the Freedom Fund. Thank you. Yes. So on September 20th will be the last day that you can purchase a life membership and be entered into the drawing
Life subscribe.
for a life membership.
Life subscribing.
Membership. It says membership on it. It doesn't say anything about subscription. That's YouTube. Okay. Then we had open floor, and I think the basketball. Matter of fact, yes, the basketball game is coming on. So on the open floor, we just decided, hey, listen, everybody have a great night and enjoy yourselves. And then Dominique led us in our positive affirmation. Listen, I'm telling you guys, I need y'all to join the membership committee. So you can see me after, or you can email me at membershipchair@NAACP.org and join us. Let's go. Be the best committee. All right, obviously. Thank you, Tiger. Woo! Let's go.
Next time, we'll turn it over to our AXO chair to give an update on her, Ms. Shantae Stroud.
So good.
She'll stick to the actual report.
Oh, shots fired.
I feel like everybody needs to wake up a little bit, 'cause I feel like everybody went to sleep. Okay, so for us to ask, our reading of our report, we had met Sunday, which was the 8th. We basically talked about providing an update on fundraising goals with $5,000. Right now, we add $620. We do need you all to donate, please. We really appreciate if you, anything counts, any and everything counts. So if you can just really go in there and just donate, that'd be great, okay? Like I said, we are sending a great group of ladies to the competition, okay? And we have to provide for them down there, like for hotel room and stuff like that. So we really need you all to donate. And like Tiger said, at the last festival, the Asian festival, we had fundraised some money we did lemonade. So basically every time somebody donated or either signed up for a membership, we gave them lemonade. So we didn't sell it. It was just donations. And I thought that was pretty awesome. We had a lot of people come to the table to ask questions. We was engaging with them. They was asking us about membership as well as the AXO program. We had one lady that donated $50 right there. And she almost was in tears. So I had to hug her. I'm like, can I hug you? She was like, yes. So we did that. And the next fundraiser we actually have at June 10th is another opportunity that we will be having with sell lemonade. Are we gonna sell lemonade or we're gonna donate it this time? We're gonna actually sell it.
Yeah.
This time we're gonna sell it.
Yes.
Last time we donated it basically as they did donations. So this time we're gonna actually sell the lemonade, and we need volunteers for that. So if you want to sign up to volunteer to help sell lemonade, that'd be great. We need your help. I need y'all to join the committee. I need your help. I need us to get into the schools and recruit, get more amazing people from Gwinnett County to go down there next year. Yes. Oh, we also gonna have some type of merch that we'll be selling as well to raise money. We're not sure exactly what type of merch we're gonna have yet, but we'll have that to sell as well. We had, like I said, after this competition, we had 2 gold medalists, which is Hazel and Alexis, and then we also had Daniela as the bronze and Sky as just participating. And like I said, all the young ladies was awesome. Trying to do better than y'all got, so just And that's really pretty much it in the motion. And basically the motion that was given after our meeting, it was the youth advisor, Reese Walker. And it was seconded at 6:30 p.m. Regular date for the AXO meeting. And it was seconded by Madam Chair, which is me, Shantae Stroud Townsend. And it was passed anonymously. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you. By the committee and await general membership for executive committee approval. And that committee, I yield the floor. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. That's
Keep
my
going.
question.
Keep
Thank
going.
you.
Keep going.
So a few of our committee chairs are not here tonight, so I'm just gonna read their reports. So I'll start with legal redress first. They met, the report has already been read in our May meeting, so I won't go over it again. They moved their regular meetings. It used to be every first Friday of the month, now they be Wednesday. So because of that shift, there was not a meeting prior to this meeting. So they'll meet again at the end of this month, and their report will be given for this month's meeting at the July general meeting. But I will say out of legal redress, we did have a couple of complaints, so I'll just get into a few of the complaints that we've been working on. One of them did involve a mother whose son was attacked by a teacher, allegedly, at the can't remember the name of the elementary school off the top of my head, but she did get a off CPS, but much lower than I felt like she should have probably went after. But given her condition, she was homeless and needed the money, and so she decided for us to. She didn't want us to get involved. She was just gonna work with the attorney she had instead of us getting her another attorney, and she took the settlement. So that case is closed. We did also in legal redress address the unfortunate deaths of the Lewis twins. So most of you know, we did a big press conference. What day was that on, Tiger? Friday, last Friday, June 6th. And so we're hoping that the governor, as well as the attorney general, one of them step up and do an independent investigation into their deaths. And then Linda, I'm gonna ask you to pipe down over there, please.
I need this membership in, okay? Start working with me.
Yeah, go outside.
Start working with me.
And so we're still, waiting on a response from that. There's also another complaint that we sent to the Attorney General and Governor's office about a young lady, Ms. Jalen Evans Jones. She was in the news for being shot through a closed door. Our executive team, myself, Jock, our second vice president, education chair, who's not here tonight, we did visit the district attorney's office looking for answer to why the gentleman did not get charged. He was escorted out in a very colorful way. I'll just leave it at that. And unfortunately, since we didn't get any answers with the district attorney's office we got answers, but it didn't make sense to us about why she did not pursue any type of misdemeanor felony charges with the gentleman firing a gunshot through the door. Right now, Ms. Evans Jones is suffering from those injuries. She lost a feeling in her right arm. She suffered internal injuries, and of course, the mental stress of, just going from somebody who was, may not been in the greatest health in the world, but was, could use both of her limbs. And now she's dealing with one side of her body. We see like this among more health problems that came from that gunshot wound. So we did send a complaint to the Attorney General's office, and our branch did send a letter to the governor asking for an independent investigation into that case, because we could not understand why somebody who admitted publicly to the media that he had been drinking all day and possibly could have been on some other drugs, fired a weapon through a closed door that end up striking Mr. Jones, because it was a husband and wife that was going up there to tell them to turn the music down. And the wife ended up being shot. So again, there may be another press conference. There may be another press conference that we may be doing soon if we do not hear anything from the governor or Attorney General about it. But at this time, we're going to be awaiting, a response from the governor and Attorney General about that particular case. And then trying to think, what's the other one? Missing one. Oh, the final one would be a complaint that Dr. Tidwell back there is working on with Miss Lisa. Again, another incident where at this time, I think it was a principal allegedly attacked a student and broke his leg, allegedly. Well, the child leg was broke, but, they're disputing that it wasn't done by the principal, but whatever. So right now, she's moving forward with charges against GCPS. Her request to our organization was to put cameras in the special education class to monitor those situations. So myself, along with Second Vice President John Cox, we'll meet with her again. We'll meet with another mother whose son was allegedly also attacked by a teacher in the classroom and suffered some type of minor injury behind that. And we're going to make that request either at one of the upcoming school board meetings. So that is it for legal redress. Any questions? Because I seen here.
Yes. So in the second case that you mentioned, was that in response to a life being threatened?
Are you talking about the Evans Jones case?
Yes.
So in that particular case, so let me try to tie what happened, unfortunately, with your nephews. And for those who don't know, that is the uncle of the nephews that were mysteriously died in Bell Mountain. So I'm gonna tie the two cases together. With GBI, they have not turned over evidence to us. That's what the press conference was about, even though they publicly said the case is closed. In Mr. Jones' case, since that case was closed locally here with the DA, he does have all of the evidence. So we have all of the ring door camera video. We have all of the witness statements that were given. Me and John poured over that, him probably more than me. And all of the witnesses said to a person that they heard a knock at the door, the music was muted, and then they heard a gun go off. Of course, the district attorney's office, she said she has an eyewitness that, said that he was banging on the door with a gun. At the same time, this is an open carry state. Mr. Jones claims that he never had a weapon until after his wife was shot. He took her to the car and he was going to take her to the hospital, realized he didn't have his keys, and the way the apartment is made, he had to go back past the shooter's door, back downstairs to his apartment. He grabbed his keys and said at that time he grabbed his weapon because quite naturally he has to pass the door of the shooter to get back to his wife in the car. At that time, law enforcement told him not to leave the premise, that the paramedics would be at his home, and he stayed, and his wife stayed in the car until they arrived.
What?
So
That's even.
Based on all the witness statements, and me and John looked at it all, his story and timelines of things he given does match up with a lot of what the witnesses were saying, even though the witnesses gave their statement on the scene. Mr. Jones gave his statement at the hospital because quite naturally, with his wife being shot in the abdomen, he was not sure if she was going to bleed out, she was going to die. So he didn't stay behind to give the testimony after the paramedic fell to the scene. He got in the ambulance with her to the hospital, and then he gave his statement at the hospital because the law enforcement gave his statement. So, like I said, right now we feel like there was a violation of the Victim Bill of Rights Act because she was not treated like a victim. even though she was shot and is permanently disabled behind it. And so that is our case to the district, to the state attorney general, that the local district attorney's office did not treat her like a victim. They treated her like an aggressor, her and her husband like they were an aggressor. There were some more things said, and I won't get into it right now, but if we have a press conference, I'm sure I'll let them tell their story.
Yeah, even in the response to, not ascertain medical assistance, by the husband, taking his wife to the hospital, that doesn't make sense. So maybe there's something in there as well that you guys can help to fight.
Other questions? I've seen somebody else hand up. Other hands? All right, so if that is it, that'll close the report on the Legal Redress Committee, and we'll provide an update between now and our next general meeting next month in July from that particular committee. So let me move on to so I'll do education really quickly here. Set up. So the Education Committee met on their last meeting, May 26th at 7:30. They did not have a meeting that particular date because we didn't have enough attendance to proceed with the meeting. And I'll just read what our education chair wrote. So the Education Committee is still currently planning a town hall in August. Currently is looking for a location. The upcoming committee, let me see, we'll be discussing a few state legislative bills, Senate Bill 4, Senate Bill 252, and Senate Bill 79. And they said they will continue to work with elected officials to provide wraparound services for after-school activity. So and I'll get into that a little bit later. Also out of education, this is not in the report because that's pretty much in the report. They didn't have a meeting last month. For those who know, or may not know, the superintendent was removed January 31st of this year. Gab Watts. During that time, our organization was asking for answers like many of the other organizations, Panhellenic, United Society, CNW, a lot of divine organizations. We did not get that because the board had two closed door sessions, so it never was publicly about why they didn't do it, why they removed it. Despite, it costing the school district and taxpayers $750,000 to remove them. Despite, our inner workings and looking at success GCPS has had under his leadership since taking over for previous superintendent J. Alvin Wilbanks. We was kind of confused about why this was happening. Like I said, we didn't ever really get any answers after we met with one of their spokesperson the night before the actual removal on that Friday, the 31st. So at that time, we was looking for some answers. Recently, they just had an area board meeting in which our organization did like a recap of the board meeting. And in my preparation for their board meeting, one of the board members said that they could not talk about his removal and compared it to like if a student get expelled from school. Of course, me being the type of person I am, I was like, nah, superintendent and a student on two different levels. One's a public officer, which voters and the public can look at his contract if they don't do an open record request, and the student, you can't do that. So once I put two and two together, she named the name of the bill that prevented her from doing that, which is called the Open Meetings Act. I researched the bill, and when I read the bill, to my surprise, it says the opposite. The bill lays out that the board is required to discuss any type of removal of a public officer with the public. They cannot do that behind closed doors. I went through the bill. My legal redress chair, who's an attorney, went through the bill. Other people in our organization, who's also an attorney, in our state conference, looked at the bill, and they all, to a person, said that, yeah, y'all are correct. So we have filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office to have those executive session minutes released to the public, because the public has a right to know why this decision was made. As we did do a sort of a mini podcast, myself and second Vice President of Education Chair John Cox laying out the consequences that the board will suffer if they're found in violation. By our count, there were 3 violations of the Open Meetings Act. The first violation was having a Monday meeting. They had a closed session to discuss the terminating this contract. Second violation was the Friday meeting, which they had another conversation behind closed doors to discuss terminating this contract. And of course, the third violation would be actually terminating him without having a public meeting to have that discussion. According to the law, they can get fined up to $6,000 if they're found guilty of all 3 violations per board member. So as taxpayers, we don't have to pay that. That will be each individual board members that will be having to pay that. And so right now, I spoke to the AG's office. They said they did see our complaint. They're looking it over. We do expect some type of response from them, hopefully in the next week or 2, about a final decision on what they're going to rule in terms of whether it's a violation. So as y'all can see, we've been super busy, especially with the AG's office. And so that will end the education report. Questions?
Have you spoken to Dr. Watts about the situation?
I have been in contact with Dr. Watts, only to have discussion with him on what our organization is doing, so that it wouldn't be catching him off guard if it made news of what was happening. And, you know, right now he's just enjoying life right now. That's all I can say. I mean, he's got 750 grand to be at home, so you know, that's where he's at. So, any other questions? All right, so that's none. I will move on off the Education Committee report and move to the Political Action Committee report. Pull that up quickly.
President Paul had a question.
Sure.
So if it's found that they have to pay the penalties and that there was wrongdoing, is there a possibility of him being reinstated?
Great question.
Thank you.
According to the law, if they are found in violation of the Open Meetings Act, he can pursue getting his job back, because that means that he would have got removed in a meeting that should have never taken place. So I don't know if he's got any intention of getting his job back, given the level of stress and things that are happening behind the scenes with dealing with some of the board members. But it is an avenue that he can pursue if he so chooses, if they are found to be in violation. So if both of those meetings are found to be in violation, that is an avenue he can take. And of course, I'm assuming he would have to be made whole. So whatever his contract was prior to, that's what it would be. I doubt he would have to get the money back. It'd just be money that as taxpayers we wasted. All of this breaks that way. The other question, good question. Back to you.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So, the up to $6,000, as you just mentioned,
Mhm.
Coming from, that will be fined, that could possibly be fined
Mhm.
per, member. Will that come out of taxpayers' money or?
That's directly, yeah, it's per board. It's nothing to do with the county.
Okay. And when are the next elections for?
The next elections for a school board is May 2026. There will be 2 seats up. It will be Steve Knudsen, who I think is in District 2. And it will be Dr. Adrian Simmons, who's in District 4. And don't make me try to remember, because John is the expert on that. I know Adrian Simmons' district is like the Shiloh, South Gwinnett, Berkmar cluster. I want to say Steve Knudsen is Central Gwinnett, not Central Gwinnett, North Gwinnett. I think it's his district. I have to look it up. District 2. You Google GCPS District 2, it should just that, but high schools and middle schools in that district. But those are 2 seats that will be up in May
Next year.
Yes. Any other questions before I move on to the packet? All right. So the Political Action Committee, which is chaired by our Political Action Committee Chair, Ellie Walker, held their meeting on Tuesday, May 20th at 8 o'clock. The usual meeting is every third Monday at 8 p.m., but she did have to move it because she had a conflicting schedule. Those who attended that meeting was myself, President Edward Paul, Madam PAC Chair Ellie Walker, Vivian Stevens, Juanita Austin, Shantae Stroud, our EXO Chair, and Erica Crosby. The committee went through a discussion of the Malcolm X event, talked about upcoming events like Juneteenth, the National Convention, and the Freedom Fund Banquet. The committee also discussed attending the Board of Registration and Elections meetings, which are held every third Wednesday at 6 p.m. For those who are not familiar with the Board of Registration and Election, those are the people that make all the laws around the election, as far as early voting, what the times are, which precincts are going to be voting. The committee also discussed the upcoming Public Service Commissioner primaries and both the Civic Education Forum on the Public Service Commission and the upcoming candidate forum which those things have already passed, as well as they discussed the voting dates and early precinct locations. So they did come up with some sample questions for the Public Service Commissioner candidate forum, and that was for District 3. There's 4 Democratic candidates running for that particular seat. I think Tiger mentioned it earlier, where Daniel Blackman it has been basically disqualified. So now it's just between the other 3. And for those of you who want to go back and watch, it is on our Facebook and YouTube page. You can go back and watch our candidate forum, get a feel for the 3 candidates that are running in that seat. And then as far as the Political Action Committee goes, and I'll kind of tie this into my presentation. So we have been meeting with all of the elected officials in Gwinnett County. So myself, Madam Chair, Second Vice President John Cox, and Member at Large Ray Harvin. We have been meeting with different elected officials. So we met with the House Dems, the Senate Democrats. We're going to eventually, because we are nonpartisan, meet with the Republicans as well. Those conversations went really well. We just kind of outlined that we're here to partner, push different legislation that we feel like be impactful in the community. We also met today with Congressman David Scott and his team, Senator Ossoff a couple weeks ago with his team. We anticipate upcoming meetings with Representative Hank Johnson and Senator Raphael Warnock soon as well. So we're doing our due diligence, trying to meet with the different elected officials. We want to know we're here to partner, work with them on legislation. Anything they need our organization to push, we're going to push. If anything they need us to come out against, we'll come out against. So that's pretty much. Oh, and I'll finish up, round out her report. We did supposed to have a June 17th run for something, where we was going to have a representative for Run for Something. Run for Something is an organization that helps train anybody that's looking to run for elected office. But I'm not sure if that forum is going to take place, so we might end up having to reschedule it. But it was supposed to be on June 17th, but I don't think the person that was going to have to be there is going to be able to be there. So the next Political Action Committee meeting is June 16th at 8 p.m. And that ends the Political Action Committee report. Any questions around that?
Have you reached out to anybody running for the governor race yet?
Not yet, but we definitely plan on having some type of forum around that next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah. All right, any other questions? All right, so that ends the PAC report. And finally, I'll go ahead and do our health committee, which is chaired by Camille DeWeese. Couldn't be here tonight, suffering from some little minor surgery that he had to have, so he was not here. Health committee wasn't able to meet last month because of a conflict. I think we was in a meeting with either the Senate or the House. I can't remember which one, but it kind of overlapped into the health committee meeting, and we was all on that call. And I guess we was coming to the health committee meeting, it was alone, and so we did end up having a meeting. But the health committee is working on trying to put together a forum that talks about y'all help me with the language, women maternity health. I think that's about pregnancy, maternal. Thank you. That's something help me because I couldn't get the language right. Yes. We've looked at the data, and the rates of death for Black women in Gwinnett County is much higher in that category than this whole state of Georgia. So, let me make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. The rates are higher for Black women in Gwinnett versus Black women across the state of Georgia. So we know that that is a critical problem for whatever reason. I'm not sure why specifically Gwinnett is like that, but it is. And so we're looking to get some health experts to come do a forum to discuss that, as well as some other disparities that are trending higher in Gwinnett amongst the Black community compared to the state. And so just good for us to be putting together some forums and having some health experts to do that. And we'll be doing another health resource fair soon. I know Representative Scott talked about working with us to do a health resource fair because I think he's got one in Rockdale coming up soon that we've been invited to, but we're gonna try to get him to do one here in Gwinnett in partnership with our health committee. So that pretty much ends the health committee report. Any questions around that? All right, so I think we pretty much hit all of our different committees. Can I get a motion from the floor to accept all of our committee reports?
I make a motion to accept all of our committee reports for the month of May. From the month of May,
For June.
but for June, I ain't finished. So, well, just June's
General.
general members meeting. Thank you.
All right, motion given by Tiger Harris. Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by First Vice President. Any further discussion about the committee report?
No.
All right, all those in favor of accepting the report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, unanimous. So we can jump into our actual business of the branch. So I will pull the committee report, our general meeting agenda. All right, so as far as old business, can I get a motion from the floor to accept the minutes from our May meeting as well as suspending the reading of those minutes? It's all our meetings are archived on our website, on our social media pages. Anybody can give that motion?
Make a motion to suspend the May minute,
The reading
the reading of the May minute
and accept
and accept
those minutes.
those minutes.
Second.
Motion given by Princess Hawkins to accept our minutes from last month, suspend the reading of those minutes, and that meeting is archived on our social media sites. Seconded by member Linda Tyler. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of accepting our minutes from last month, as well as suspend the reading of those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it is unanimous. All right, so moving on, our national convention, for those who know, or don't know, will be in Charlotte. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to leave. However, this is my very first time ever being in a meeting or anything like this. My husband and I are very interested in like the committees and things like that, and we want to know much more kind of how we can, be a part and come to like further meetings. So before I just want to know if
That's the process.
like, can I get someone's information or can I get my information?
Membership chair, Tiger Hair is gonna walk you out and get you to our websites. For those who watching, if you want to join, if you're not a member, go to www.NAACP.org, www.NAACP.org, and join, sign up. And Secretary will be communicating with you all about the dates of our meetings. Oh, you're welcome. Tiger. All right, so update on our national.
We gotta check the official picture then.
Yeah.
Official picture.
Oh, that's my fault. I don't remember that.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let them clear out the room. If you want to take a picture. No. All right, so update on our national convention. So for those who don't know, our convention is from Saturday, July 12th to July 16th. So you can go to the National NAACP website, www.naacp.org, and register for the convention. If you plan on going down there and attending, you can go ahead and book the hotel, register. I do not have the prices in front of me right now, but it's all on the National NAACP website, www.NAACP.org. And register. We will be sending, as a branch, 6 delegates to the convention. For those who are not familiar with how our organization works, delegates are people that go to the convention to vote on any additional policies that organization wants to add, any resolutions, which are things that we advocate for. We go down there and we make those voting decisions. We vote for new board members who's going to sit on the national board. Right now, we got 6 delegates. I think 1, 2, 3 of them are here tonight. Linda Tyler, myself, and Dr. Stacy Tidwell, which is in the back. And then we do have some of our alternates here. It's not Henry, Jacques Laurent, and serving some of our alternates for the convention. And I think Princess, you're alternate too. No. Are you alternate? I don't know. I gotta go back and check my records. But so that's our national convention. Of course, AXO, which we celebrated all the wonderful students that participated with them from July 9th to the 13th will be that's when they'll be doing the AXO international convention. So any questions around our upcoming national convention? Right? So we've already talked about our AXO fundraiser. I've already given you our website, bit.ly/AXO, ACTSO 25. Please go there and donate to our AXO contestants. All proceeds will go towards supporting them and our committee that does such a wonderful job putting that together. And moving on to old business, our Freedom Fund banquet, as our chair has already stated, that will take place at the Beaufort Community Center on Saturday, September 20th. Tickets are on sale now. You can go to www.naacp.org, go to our events page and buy your tickets or your table. For those who want to be a sponsor within NAACP for the convention, we will have our sponsorship package coming out soon. It should be ready by at least next week. We should have it laid out and ready to go if you want to be a sponsor for that event. For those who are purchasing a table, going to be a table host, the table does hold, correct me if I'm wrong, 10 people?
Yes, it could take 10, if we're selling a table, yes.
10.
We're having it set to 10.
So it's 10 people per table. It is your table, so if your organization is buying a table, you can bring I guess they can't bring in like their tablecloth to say this is Chocolate Rush LLC that got this. Can they bring their own tablecloth? What's the
so what we would do is basically have the little or something in the middle.
Okay.
That signifies them. So if it's corporation, if it's JLLC, then it would have JLLC with the logo on there.
Okay. So not a tablecloth,
centerpiece.
but a centerpiece.
Okay.
A
centerpiece.
So you'll have a centerpice with your organization.
Yeah. Or if it's a family, it could be the Paul family.
Right.
Exactly.
Or if you're a church, you could have a centerpiece with New Jerusalem Church. I'm shouting out my church to let y'all go ahead and buy y'all a table. Pastor Collins gonna give me that. So any questions around our Freedom Fund Bank? Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to new business. I already kind of went through my update on the elected officials. Like I said, we've been visiting with different ones. Just to get a feel, we went to, we visited with Kipo and his team at the sheriff's office. We visited with the DA's office. That was supposed to be a good visit. Didn't end the way it initially started.
It's always good.
We visited with the state, like I said, we met with the state elected officials. We met with we have not got a chance to meet with all the county commissioners, but that's coming. Just to let them know, get to meet some of my new leadership team. A lot of them, they know me in passing, but they don't know me one-on-one. We haven't had an extended conversation, so that's where a lot of these meetings are. We plan on meeting with the Solicitor General's office. We have that misdemeanors in Virginia County. So we've met with all the different elected officials and plan on meeting with more. Like I said, we met with Representative Scott, Senator Ossoff and his team. We plan on meeting with Warnock and Representative Hank Johnson and their team. And so we're just looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the partnership. We're excited. A lot of the state reps, they're excited for us to be back in compliance and back active and happy about the new leadership. And so we're gonna keep the momentum going and like I said, try to form these partnerships and relationships because we all are here for the same thing. Elected officials are here to serve people and so is we in the NAACP. So any questions around that before I move on? All right, so upcoming events. We have a few upcoming events. I've already been over the convention, so I won't go over that. And I've been over the Freedom Fund. So we do have our Juneteenth event, which is in collaboration with the United Ebony Society, the North Metro Panhellenic. This is pretty much the United Ebony Society event. They've been doing it for years. We're more of a co-host as to be part of that event. So we're working with them. I know in the past, NAACP has always kind of did a separate Juneteenth. And kind of like what I've been telling everybody that I meet is like, hey, we're not looking to work in silos anymore. We're looking to partner and work together. And so I met with President Pratt, and we have a great relationship. And so we're looking forward to doing more events with the United Ebony Society. We did the Malcolm X event, very first one I've seen in Gwinnett County. Get some time if they did it in the past, maybe they did or didn't. But we did the Malcolm X event. We're going to look to do it again. I do have a commitment from Professor James Smalls that he's willing to come down and be the guest speaker for that event. So I will warn everybody, the ticket price ain't gonna be $10 to bring him down here. For those who don't know Professor James Small, he was the gentleman that took over the Muslim Mosque, which is the organization that Malcolm X started when he left the Nation of Islam. He started two organizations, the OAU, which was more like an advocacy organization, and then to continue his religious organization, he started a Muslim Mosque. And Professor Smalls led that organization after he was assassinated. So he's willing to come down, and as I said, as long as we don't do it on Malcolm's actual birthday, because they pour libation, they have a ritual they do at his grave site every year. So we're gonna try to look at the calendar, because I know May's busy, graduations, all the Divine Nine having their closeout busy. So we're gonna try to get it on a weekend where it doesn't conflict. But we still celebrate Malcolm's birthday, but it don't conflict with all these other events going on in May, and allow Professor Smalls to be able to come down for a weekend, do his presentation on Malcolm, his life. And we want to thank Professor Samuel Livingston from Morehouse College. He did an excellent job doing our very first Malcolm X event. Madam Councilman.
If I can suggest that
Sure.
location.
Absolutely.
Most I'm very happy with
Yeah.
that.
So you said about the location, but in fact, we was in Beaufort.
No, just that particular mall, because the community
Oh.
function in there was not to the standard, like the technology. It was hard to see the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else on Facebook?
Yeah, we will try to look for a different location next time. We typically prefer to do these type of events in South Gwinnett, Snellville, Lawrenceville, that sort of area. I think because of the sake of time, we was kind of trying to put this together in a sort of a time crunch. We just had to go with the location that we did. Because we wanted to do, nobody was doing it. It was his 100th birthday, so we want to try to put a marker down for that particular moment. And so we're gonna try to keep it going. I mean, I know we celebrate Martin Luther King. Most everybody does that, but Malcolm was just as impactful, especially for Black people, and really all people. And so we definitely want to lift him up and celebrate him and do a deeper dive into his life and what he meant to our community. So we'll definitely pick a different location. Probably more, like I said, probably more closer to where most of the people look like us side of town. And so we'll definitely have that more planned out now that we know it's something we want to do every year. We'll have more time to prepare. Any other questions around any of the events? That's pretty much in all the events we got coming up, because I talked about the other ones ad nauseum. So any other questions around that? Right. Discussion about the type of awards for the banquet. So this was added to the agenda by our Freedom Fund chair, who wanted to have the general membership comment on the different type of awards that we will be handing out for the banquet. So any ideas on the type of awards we should give? I've given some suggestions. in terms of awards, I give you what I've already put on the table. So one of the things I wanted to do, we had such a large get out the vote campaign last year where we had, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40, maybe more than that, 50 canvassers knocking on doors. Well, it's probably about close to about 60 or 70 canvassers knocking on doors across Metro Atlanta, side of Atlanta. We was in Burke County, Jefferson County, Richmond County. We was in Baldwin County. And so I wanted to give out an award to the top canvasser. I wanted to give out an award to the top phone person that did phone banking. Because that was a lot of work. You know, they was getting paid for it. I actually did, pay them part-time for doing that work, but it still was a lot of work. It was a lot of demand because for those who know me, y'all know when I'm in that mode, I'm very serious, but it was a lot of work and we got it done. And so I wanted to honor them at this upcoming banquet for honor at least some of the top people for the hard work that they put in. So those are one of the things. I also wanted to give an award to one of our members. And I have a few people that I want to nominate, but we'll figure out how we're going to do the nominations and all that a little bit later. But I do want to give an award to one of our members, like an MVP award for somebody that's showing up to the committee meetings, volunteering for the membership drives, helping us in the different committees that they serve on, to recognize it, because we know we all are volunteers. So for those who don't know, I ain't got no salary. As I always have to explain to people, the only folks getting paid is people at national. Everybody at local and state, we all volunteer. So, but I definitely want to reward one of our members for the hard work that they put in and show them that we appreciate what they do. And so those are kind of the 3 awards that I presented to Jock that I want to have recognized at the banquet. And so do y'all have any ideas? I mean, some of y'all have been to other banquets. Madam Councilwoman, y'all do a banquet every year for the United Evidence Society. So anybody, the floor is open for suggestions if y'all have.
Sounds great so far. Your idea sounds great so far.
Okay, appreciate that. Any other suggestions? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna share where the treasurer and I are going through another county's awards, and I just wanna lift up some of the ones that are coming up. There is the business award. There is the youth award, the youth services award, faith-based award, the Freedom Legacy Award. So there's different and one that I was gonna recommend is the John Major for Justice Award. So there's different ones we could do. If we have a bevy of different ones, we can select from, and then we could determine which ones we're gonna go from there. So leave the floor open for anyone else.
All right, so Jack mentioned some awards, but I guess to some of the, is that going to a faith-based leader or that an actual church?
That would be up to us to determine, are we giving it to a church or to a faith-based leader? It could be either way.
Okay. So any other suggestions anybody have about type of awards we should give out?
Do we have one of the community service?
Yeah, I'll mention one of them in here. That's the community services award. Yes.
Okay.
So, but that's why we're taking recommendations, because it's been a long time. Because we had a proof pool about 19 years ago, 2006.
Yeah, I was actually at that one. I remember.
So, yep, and also Percy too, received one as well. So that was the last full one. So we want to establish it in the right way, honoring all the people that are doing the hard work and doing all heavy lifting in the community, so that we can, we can encourage others to do the same.
And I like for you to yes.
Mhm.
All right. So you got some suggestions for those who are watching online, please email Freedom Fund, freedom, just like it sounds, fund, FUND, share, at GwinnettNAACP.org, and then it goes to Jock to run. Any ideas, especially if you remember that you may have about suggestions for banquet in terms of awards that we're going to be giving out at the Freedom Fund Bank. So moving on from that. The floor is, yeah, we kind of at the end of everything. So the floor is open for any other discussion that anybody may have before we wrap up. So hearing none. So just want to remind everyone, like I said, Juneteenth will be taking place. Our Juneteenth event that will be in partnership with United Ebony Society and North Metro Panhellenic will take place on June 21st from 3 p.m., which is Saturday, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please come out. It's free to the public. If you are a vendor, you can go to the United Ebony Society website, www.unitedebonysociety.org, or you can go to our website, www.NAACP.org, and purchase your tickets on our website. You can go to the events page on our website and buy your tickets if you're a vendor. It's only for vendors because it's open to the public. But if you're a vendor, like if you're a vendor for the event, you go there. It's on our Facebook page. If you go under events on our Facebook page, if you are a vendor, just click purchase tickets. It'll redirect to where you need to go to buy purchase your seat as a vendor for that particular event. And our next general meeting will take place on July 10th, which is second Thursday at 7 p.m. We will still have that meeting. Unfortunately, I will not be chairing that particular meeting. So because I will be at the national office, I've been invited to participate in a civic engagement summit that the national office is going to do. So since they're paying for me to be there a little bit early, I'm going to go. So I will be down there participating in the Civic Engagement Summit that one of the national people have invited me to come down to attend. And with that being said, any additional questions?
I just wanted to mention that tomorrow, June 13th, the city of Hartsville will have the allergy celebration.
Okay.
Starting at 6 o'clock. Please come out.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that loud because the mic's right here. All right, so you said tomorrow is the Juneteenth event that's being celebrated by the city of
Yes,
Lawrenceville.
on the Lawrenceville lawn,
And that's gonna be on the Lawrenceville lawn. What time?
6 o'clock.
Starting at 6 p.m.
And vendors and all.
Yes, so please come out, especially if you live in Lawrenceville, come out and support your city, show up for your city. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the Lawrenceville lawn. Please
But it's
come out.
open to everyone.
It's open to everybody. Even if you in, Snellville, Grayson, all the surrounding areas, Duluth, North Palm, outside of come out and support. Yeah, that's that. With that being said, the meeting is adjourned and y'all can leave.
All right.